Mic check, mic check. All right. Good morning, Sagar. Good morning, Work Diver. Hope you guys are doing all right. Can y'all hear me? I want to make sure you guys can hear me before I start. Let's see here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh, okay. Yeah, Sagar. No, I was just making sure you guys could hear me. I'm about to start going through this stuff here in a minute. Give me 1 second. Okay. Actually getting out of LinkedIn right now. Okay. All right, guys. Um, so as usual, we can see the watch list. Hey, what's up, Mark? Good to see you, man. Yeah, we had a gap up in the S&P 500 this morning. I guess I'll start there. So this is that daily chart. These are levels that I've marked out, and as you can see, um, we are making a rebound. There was some decent news over the weekend. I think the cases in New York have been reduced, the coronavirus cases. Here's the thing. I don't want to talk too much fundamentals because, guys, we've all seen how this stuff plays out. You come in here and you hear that we've filed 3 million jobless claims, and all of a sudden the SPY gets bought up. Okay, so I really just don't want to say too much about it at this point. But what we do know is, from a technical perspective, this has. Good morning, Notre Dame. Good to see you, man. What we do know is, from a technical perspective, this looks like the bulls are about to gain control. And this is a very critical level up here, these levels up here. And I've marked them out on the 5-minute chart, but I'll go ahead and, as a matter of fact, let me see here. I'm going to put a solid green line right over this 263.33 level, because that really is going to be the breakout level. If this comes over 263.33, we're going to start breaking out up to these moving averages up here. And not saying we're going to just go all the way up there. I mean, who knows, right, in this market. But we'll definitely, I think, have an opportunity to make a 10-point move at that point. Maybe up here to 270, 271, maybe even 273.50. So that's the reason why we're seeing a lot of other stocks gapped up, spiked up, and that sort of thing. Now, one I've been watching this morning, and I actually took a really quick short trade on just because it was losing a ton of its value just at a very rapid pace. And this is one of those types of pre-market trades that, and I only went in, you can see I only went in with 200 shares, and I got out way too early. But it was just going to be just a quick pre-market scalping trade for me. I've seen this sort of thing many times. I watched it test the 21 level multiple times, and I just figured that it was going to go down to test 20. 20 is a good whole number, and with this kind of drop that it was getting at the time, it just seemed like a good type of trade to take. And again, I only took 200 shares. So, but where I went wrong is this really should have been $100 trade. Okay, because I was roughly risking about $50 to make the trade. So I really didn't stick to my rules on that. I really didn't stick to a good the risk to reward ratio. I should have really let this play out, because it really was supposed to be about 100, maybe even $150 move if I could get that. I mean, as you can see, we've got more than a we went all the way down to 1971. So we got more than $1 drop on where I got in. We got about $1.40 drop on where I went in with 200 shares. And I should have held the first 100 at least to the 2050 mark, and then maybe taken the other 100 down at the $20 mark. So so it should have been $150, $160 trade maybe. But anyway, that's okay. I took that trade, and now what I'm watching for IMMU, and it actually did have a good news catalyst. I think it was something having to do with breast cancer, I believe. Let me see here. Let's see. Basically, they had a very successful trial. It was so successful that they stopped the study because they didn't feel like they needed to test it anymore. So this is a great news catalyst, guys, and this one could be really good to the long side. I mean, we could break out past the $27 mark, and it looks like it's finding a bottom. But here's the other thing to it. If this does not fail to have any kind of a short squeeze out the gates, if this does not start pushing its way all the way up to these levels and testing new highs, and if it actually comes down, I mean, we can see it's tested this 1970, the 1970s level has been tested multiple times. If this actually breaks this coming out of the gates, we could get a significant move down. I mean, you got to understand, guys, there's a lot of people, too, out there that have lost a lot of money in these markets, and they're waking up to seeing that this stock that was down to $9.20 was all the way up to $26. So there could be a lot of people that are just looking to capitalize on it right now in this market. They've gained a lot of their money back. Okay, and so, I mean, think about these guys who were sitting here before the stock market just started to get hammered or get pummeled. I mean, look, this is where they were on this stock, and it just went down, 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 down. I mean, so it may be one of those situations where just the sell pressure is just too much. There's too much to combat for the bulls. Okay, so we don't know, but I'm gonna be mindful of that. There's a lot of volume being traded on it right now. It is a 200 million share float, but this one is on my watch basically for either a long or a short. Okay, I'm going to very quickly flip my position on this, but it's the first one that I'm going to watch out of the gates, and if it looks like we're going to get a good solid long play on this, I'm going to go long. If it looks like that it's not going to be able to hold these levels and it's going to end up crashing back down through the 1970s, then I'll do my best to go short. We are on a short selling restriction, so so we're going to look at Boeing also. Note again, right now, let me go to ZM because ZM had some bad news on it. I think something about the New York school system. I need to go look this up again. I don't want to say. Just they're not using them. I think they're going to be using Google. So let's see. And then so here's some of the headlines. Investor alert: Zoom CEO messed up. Nationally ranked litigation firm announces investigation of Zoom video communications. Okay, so they're being investigated. They've also been, I think, downgraded to a $105 price target. I think it was around $105, which was actually raised a little. So it could technically, in a lot of people's minds, it's lower than that. And there was something about New York City schools. Zoom was banned from New York City schools because of privacy concerns. So this is the second one on my watch list because I really feel like we could get, especially if we crack this 50-day moving average, I think we can get a significant move down. But I'm going to be careful because it is Zoom. Zoom has been known to do some really funky things that nobody's expecting, okay? But I do like the fact that, there was at one point this morning, I was looking at it at going short at $113, but it started doing this, and I'm glad I didn't because it came all the way up here almost to $115. So if this breaks back through, again, this is kind of one of those things where I may be looking to get into it right out of the gates. So IMMU and ZM are the two that I'm watching the most. And I'm going to take conservative share size on both of them, whatever the case may be. mRNA is another interesting one because it looks like it's breaking out past all-time highs. And, but, mRNA is a very tricky stock. A lot of us we've had, I mean, I've made some really good money on mRNA in the past. I remember one day I made $700 on this stock alone, and it wasn't too long ago, maybe about a month and a half ago. But there was a serious drop on it. I don't know if we're going to get that drop today. I would be more inclined to think that we're going to test those all-time highs. So, but we're gonna keep that on watch. W, I'm going to keep on watch as well. There's a significant enough volume coming in here, but it's a spready stock, so you got to be careful. You really got to be careful. I mean, it's looking like the spread is starting to close a little here, but and again, I don't, even with this one, I don't know the news, but I'm more concerned about the technicals with Wayfair right now. So VIR is another one. This isn't one that I really want to keep on watch. I was just kind of looking at it because, here's the thing. I'd have to locate shorts shorts for borrowing, and I don't know. I don't know. This one has tricked me out before, so I'm probably going to remove it, but I will be interested. I guess if it goes over 40, you know what? I'm not even gonna set an alert. I don't even care. I don't even care. INO is another one that it's starting to break out. I think there was some kind of really good news on this with the whole coronavirus vaccination thing. Inovio Pharmaceutical plans first dosing of patients in trial of the COVID-19 vaccine candidate on Monday. Okay, so they initiate phase 1 clinical trial. So that's good. This is really good. This one actually needs to be moved above W. Actually, we could get a good, I'm going to put that above mRNA. Actually, I'll put it above mRNA. SPCE is another one that, looks like it could make a significant move. Now, here's the one thing about SPCE is if it breaks down past this $12.10 level, I think it'll make a pretty good short. But SPCE is the one stock that has wrecked me the hardest in this space in the last couple months, and you can see it trades very choppy. I would have to see a lot of volume pouring into this, so I'm actually going to remove this one from my watch list, and I want to be alerted if it gets close to the $12 mark. So I'm going to go ahead and put in on my alerts, and let me get rid of all of these, clear all. So SPCE, I am going to put, I want to get notified if there's a break of, let's say, $12.30. So I will want to get notified there, but for now it's off my watch list. APA, it's one I kind of traded the other day, kind of bit me in the butt. I don't know. There's a little bit of volume on it. Oxy, same thing. And then CVX was another one that I did well with the other day. So I'll keep these on my watch list, but Boeing is the final one that I really want to go over because Boeing has given us a lot of great opportunities lately, and I'm going to keep that right below mRNA. So really my watch list today, just so you guys know, and it says, Matt, when T on light speed means not shortable, right? If so, check out Codex. Yeah, T, yeah. If you see this T, you cannot short it. There's no way that you're going to be able to short this stock. So yes, to answer your question there. But yeah, so just so you know, guys, a lot of y'all who are in here on a regular basis, you know that a lot of these ones down here at the bottom are ones that I will kind of keep on watch, just in case. But the main ones that are on watch are typically the first 2 or 3, and then of course I'll have a couple backups in front of that. So that's pretty much what I've got this morning. SPY, I always just keep the SPY up there. So it's just always up there. Although I don't ever really use that. So, but I'll keep it up there anyway. Anyway, so IMMU, again, looks like it's forming a bottom. But here's the thing. If it breaks down, this is going to be a major flat top breakdown. It's going to be hard to get in because it's a on a broker restriction. So you can only short on an uptick. That's what this CB symbol means. You can only short on an uptick. So if it is kind of crashing down towards these levels, I'm going to have to find a way to strategically get in on an uptick. and hope that it's not an uptick where a short squeeze is starting. So I don't know. I may have to give it a little extra thought, but what I'd really like to see is for this to get bought up massively, but then get a major rejection and start making its way back down to this flat bottom. If it does that, then maybe I'll be able to get in at some of these levels up here, and we can at least get a retest of this flat bottom, and I can take some profit off there and then see if we get the final breakdown. So that's kind of what I'm looking for on IMMU. And then again, Zoom thriving off of some bad news this morning. Definitely going to look for it to start making its way down towards that $105 price target. INO, again, looking for long. mRNA could be a long or a short. I really don't know, and I've got to wait for volume to pour in. And then, of course, we've got Boeing. Now, obviously, the markets are up. Boeing is up. I think it's very, very possible. And by the way, Sauger, I'm sure. I hope you're not kicking yourself this morning. You should not be kicking yourself, even though SPY gapped up and Tesla gapped right back up. And we talked about it Friday. We talked about this Friday, the possibilities of nobody knows what's going to happen over the weekend. It could end up popping back up, and then you're going to wish you had held on to it. But don't kick yourself. And maybe you're not. Maybe it's completely water under the bridge for you. But I just want to encourage you, man. Just don't kick yourself. Nobody could have ever predicted that junk was going to gap up this morning. So you did a good job. Getting rid of that anyway. Because you know what? It could have been a gap down this morning, and then you'd really be kicking yourself. So, Mark, no, I do not trade options. And, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, they're big on options, and they think you're a loser if you don't trade options. But honestly, and I'll say this: I think if you can learn how to trade options, I think people can do really, really well with options. I mean, you can also get wrecked with options, but I think by and large, if you know what you're doing, I think options can be a phenomenal way to make profits really quick in day trading. And I plan on learning more about it. I mean, I do know, obviously I know enough about it, but I do plan on at some point maybe dabbling in it here and there. But right now I'm account building, and I'm going with what I know. I'm going with the thing that I've really been focusing on more in the last 2.5 years. I mean, this is where I've had a deep, deep focus in just stock trading, ETFs and stuff. And so I'm not, I just haven't, there's futures, there's options. I know a little bit about both. I know more about options than I do futures. But what I do know is that right now I'm staying in my own lane. So, but one day I might, but just so you know, if you continue to come to this channel, you're probably not going to learn too much about options, at least not anytime in the foreseeable future, maybe down the road though. Yeah, Sauger, no doubt. So, but anyway, with Boeing, guys, getting back to this, here's what I would say with Boeing. I really need to watch what the SPY is going to do. Now, here's SPY on a 5-minute chart pre-market. It's one of those things where it could be that SPY has a pullback down to these levels. It could get a severe pullback and then come up, or it may get a pullback to this level that I marked out right here at 256.63, and then it might break out past all of this and then break through the previous highs that we marked out on the daily chart. Again, the breakout level that we are watching today, the critical breakout level on SPY, this would be an extremely bullish move. This would be great for the bulls, is a break of 263.33. So anyway, bell's about to ring here in a couple minutes, guys. So if you have any last thoughts or comments, I mean, basically, again, right now, Boeing, if I do watch Boeing, I'm going to be probably trading it more according to the SPY. I mean, there are definitely important levels that could be marked out here. I think this, this 136.68 level, it tapped up here, there was almost kind of like a flat top thing going on around here. And it seemed to be like, all these levels here between here, 136.47 and 138.05 seem to be a lot of, there seems to be a lot of good levels in there that you could trade off of it. If it comes up to there and looks like it's getting rejected, you could probably get a really good solid short in there. But if it starts breaking through, I mean, you want to be ready to get out. Okay, so I might actually put Bowen above mRNA. I think I'd be interested in watching that a little bit more. But again, INO could be good for a long. Be careful. You can locate shorts, I believe. Yep, and they're not that expensive. So there could be easy short squeezes going on INO today. ZM coming back up again. I would look for ZM to make its way down to break the 113 mark. And then IMMU. Now here's this. IMMU looks like it tried to get bought up, but it got a massive rejection. So that's kind of what I would be looking for. So we'll see, guys. We got about a minute to the bell. Good morning, Yoni B. Good to see you. Really need to look for the spread to come down on this. Spread is way too big on ZM right now. So we'll see what this does. 15 seconds to the bell. I'm going to break 112. Looks like we may get a pullback. See if we break 112. See where the selling pressure is. There we go. Thinking about adding. Gonna see if I can add. It's not wanting to break it, guys. I don't know. I'm coming out of that. There it goes. There it goes. See how much more we can get down through here. So they're selling. There's good selling here. Good selling. See how long we can go. Okay, coming out half. IMMU. Looks like it's finally going, but there's a war. There's a tug of war there, so I don't know. I want to be careful with that. We'll come out another half there on Zoom. 112.13, so 111. Oops. $50 is where I want to come out the other 25. We'll just say 111. Okay, let's see. Stop buy at 111. IMMU, still a tug of war. INO, it's getting a drop. Boeing's getting a drop, and so is the S&P 500. mRNA looks like it's getting a little bit of a drop here. So, interesting. I'm gonna see what that's all about. I'm gonna give it some time. W's moving up. APA is moving up. Volume's decent. CVX or Oxy's moving up. Let's see. Come back up to IMMU. See what is happening on the 1 minute. Looks like we could continue to go. Just give this a second here. Too much of a tug of war. I don't know that this has really picked a direction ZM still going down, still getting the drop on ZM. May consider adding to my position here at 109. Let me see here. See if we can get more of a drop. There we go. Back in 125 shares at 109.63. There we go. And coming out. Looks like it might be squeezing up right now. So I'm going to just kind of hold on to that for a minute. IMMU getting the drop finally. Looks like there's going to be a pullback, so I'll try to hold for a pullback. Okay, I'm going to come in. Gonna just get in 100 shares there. See if we can get a pullback. Gotten 100 shares at the drop. Let's see, 1875. Where could it come up to? Could come up to 45. So I'll take another 100 at 45. See if we can get up to 45. I'm going to be very careful on this stock. Okay, it's pausing at 1930, so I'm going to give this a chance to work itself out. I should have waited for a retest on it. So 1939 will not be good. I think as long as the SPY continues to get crushed. So SPY could be coming down, like I said, to test this level here, right here. So here we go. See if we can get a continued move down. I am going to remove half just in case this goes past 1939, because I think if it goes past 1939, I'll probably be in a little bit of trouble there. So let's just see if we can get a continued drop down to these levels down here. I could still maybe make it, 50 bucks on this, and I might add back in. But it's getting some pressure, and SPY is starting to get bought up a little bit. ZM has made its way all the way back up to 112. So let me see here. Okay. IMMU just don't feel the best about right now, but try to give it another minute. Try to give it another minute to play out. See what happens here. If it starts curling around, I'll come out. I don't want to get squeezed out on this stock. Again, it is pretty tremendously good news on this, so if this comes back, I'm going to have to get out. Okay, there we go. We got the drop. We got a good, significant enough drop. Let's see. SPY's continuing to drop. Okay, this is a very slow moving stock, and it's very whippy, and quite frankly, I'm very uncomfortable in it. Very uncomfortable in it right now. I mean, every time it gets a breakthrough, it gets a buy up. So I don't know. I would be just very, very cautious on this stock here. Let's just see. See if we can break 1820s. There we go. Going down to 18. Continued breakthrough. Can we get the $50 on this? I mean, that's kind of what I'm going for here. So, okay, I'm going to take out half of the 50 at 82. Okay, it's getting the pullback like it normally does. You could almost just long this into the choppiness. You could almost long it into the choppiness. Okay, it's coming back. But I've got an order at 1782 to take out the first 25. And you know what? Probably ought to change that to 1775. It's coming back up. So we may just have to get out of it altogether. But I don't know. I mean, it's bouncing off that 20 EMA. May come up to test 19s again. Let's see. Definitely need to see some kind of a fail here. That's not good. Okay, I'm coming out of that one. Let's look at ZM again. See how ZM is doing. Okay, ZM has, I mean, talk about chop fest, guys. It's recovered. So I wish I had went in more shares on that one. INO, still getting a little bit of a drop. mRNA, still getting a little bit of a drop, but it's choppy. SPY is kind of getting a bounce off of this moving average, or excuse me, not moving average, this level of support. If we break this support here at 256.63, then that's not going to be good for SPY, not in the short term. I think we could definitely come back down to test these levels here. I mean, there is a level here at 255.96. I mean, yeah, so we just have to watch it. But if it gets the breakout, then that's going to be really good, again, for the bulls and just to anyone who's looking to get in on the long side of things. So here we go. We've made it all the way back up here to $19. And we're tapping on VWAP. We're tapping on VWAP here. Okay, we just broke up through VWAP. So let's just give this one a while to work itself out. ZM, continue to make a leg up. INO, I don't have shares for shorting, but looks like it's getting crushed. Only in the short term, though. Boeing is showing some divergence, but I'll tell you what, the 130 level is a pretty critical level for Boeing. So it's possible we could turn around here and start making a leg back up to, you know, at least to these areas up here. I think it's possible we could get a retest of VWAP from the 130 level. So 130 is proven to be significant. Now SPY, you know, it could be, I don't know, it could be tracking with the SPY a little. But if this looks like we're going to get a good solid break back up through 130s, I'll probably jump in for a long. ZM is getting bought up all the way. Now, this is an important level for ZM as well, by the way. Let's see here. So the stop out point would have to be 129.21. 129.21. So mean, it's looking like it may still go down. Let's see. I mean, can it hold this level here? Can it hold this level here? SPY's making its way up, guys. So SPY's showing some strength. If it keeps going, it could close above VWAP. But Boeing is still showing a little divergence. So just want to be careful with it. Okay. It's trying. It's trying, but this could be a reversal on Boeing. Like I said, roughly around that 130 mark. Very interesting to see what happens with this on the 1 minute. I mean, I could get in now and I'd only be risking, I don't know, 40 bucks, maybe not even. Okay, I'm going to get in long on Boeing. And I will take it at the break of 129.30 or 40, we'll say. Stop. So see if we can get it. There we go. It's a good strong move up there. Take off half there. Okay. And we'll see if we get a good leg up. So SPY's moving back towards that breakout level, and this could be really, really good for the SPY. I'm going to go ahead and come out another piece here. So we got 25 left on Boeing. We're up 193 on the day. And we will put our stop at the break of 129, 130. We'll put the break at 130 on those last 25 shares. Stop, sell. Okay. Let's actually do a stop limit because I don't want to take any less than break even on it. So I'll say stop, sell. There we go. So let's see. SPY looks like, I'll show you the chart. SPY's making its way back up to these levels here. This critical level at 258.29. So SPY could end up doing well there and breaking through. And I think that'll pull Boeing up with it. IMMU still struggling a little here around VWAP. Don't know what it's going to do yet. This could be reversing as well. ZM, I think, is starting to hit some resistance. I think it's it's very possible we get a good sell-off here. But we'll give it a minute here to work itself out. Let's look at it on the 2 minute, the 1 minute. Yeah, if it breaks 117, that should be significant enough. It's a lot of wicks. Let's see what it does. And SPY's strong, so if we start to see divergence here, let's see. Looks like it's getting a buy up, but I'm not completely buying it. No pun intended. But we'll see. It's got to break. It's got to break 119. You know, I guess I could take a small trade here. I don't know if I want to risk that much yet. I think I'll wait for confirmation. There's a difference in getting in on a trade based on confirmation and then anticipation. Huge difference. There we go. Looks like it's going to break down through 117. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get in there for the break of 117. Oh, it's holding. I'm going to come out half. Okay, come out half. 1702. Did not get the flush. Did not get the flush, guys. So I may have to come out all. Let me give it a second to work out. There we go. Might take another stab at it here. Let's try again. We're in 150. Come on, get the break. Get the break. Get the break. Get the break. And coming out half. Man, this is tough. Doesn't want to do it, guys. Doesn't want to do it. Coming out. So we retrieved a little of it. I mean, man, I'm glad I did that. Look at that. Look at that quick squeeze up. Look at that quick squeeze up. So I'm going to just kind of back off of that for a minute here. IMMU is looking okay. I don't know if I want to get back short on that again. ZM still just not. And if you can see, it's kind of making a descending wedge here. So I don't know, guys. I might be okay with getting back in. The last thing I want to do is get caught up in some chop fest, you know. But suffered a pretty solid rejection there on the 2 minute. I mean, it keeps wanting to push though. Really keeps wanting to push. And the SPY is pushing. The SPY broke out past the 258.29 level. Right now it's trying to break pre-market highs. I don't know, guys. I can't call it on ZM. And so typically, I guess when you can't call it, you probably ought to just stay on the sidelines. Probably going to miss a really good move here to the downside, but I'll tell you what, it has whipped back so many times. I don't know. Let me look on the 1 minute here. This is a lot of wicks. It's a lot of wicks. But I'll tell you what, if it goes, it's going to go. And that's one short squeeze I am not going to want to be in. And I mean, it's doing the same thing. You know, it's staying on that descending wedge. Now, the only thing that's changed is that this candle hasn't made a new 2 minute low. But if it breaks 116.60, I mean, you would think that this is going to go. Let's just see what we can do here. They're going to break it. Am I going to miss the move? Man, I tell you what, it's holding. It's holding. Bones continue to move higher, so I may actually move up my stop on Boeing. Yeah. See where Bowen's sitting right now. 131.51. So 131.50. I will stop. Sell at 131.41. Stop. So we're going to stop, sell there at 131.51. So if it goes down there. But if it continues to go up, then we'll stay in the profit. ZM's holding, guys. ZM is holding, but I'll tell you what, if it does not go, let's see, it's still 116.62. That's still the level we're looking for. It's making a move up here on the 2 minute, but still don't trust it, guys. Still don't trust it. This could make a move all the way back down here into the 114s, maybe even go lower and break VWAP. So I don't know. This could be a really solid move. This could finish off the day right here. So, but I got to be careful. Note again, loves it when Boeing keeps paying you. Good job, man. Really good job. Is this it? Is this the final go on Zoom? Is this the final go on Zoom? Yeah, we're going to try. We're going to take a shot here. There we go. Let's see if it can break 116.60. There we go. Is it finally going? Is it finally going? Come on. Break through 116.50. There you go. Coming out half. Okay. Can't do it, guys. Can't do it. But let's see. See if we can get that move. Might be because of how strong SPY is, you know. It's whipped around a lot here, guys. So need to see some selling. Don't want to get caught in the chop. Okay, coming out. It's just not looking good right now on Zoom. Boeing is still paying a lot of us. So, I'm going to move my stop up, stop limit. $132.40. 41. Stop, sell that at 132.31. Actually, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, take half. Let's see if we can get half. Okay, I'm going to take half there. Okay, we got 13 shares left. So stop out at 132.10. Stop, sell the other 13 there. ZM. Look at this. Look at this chop fest. ZM went all the way back up and now it's getting crushed again all the way to the downside. So a lot of wicks. I mean, one would think that this is going to get crushed, but it's like, I don't know. This is just, you're playing with my mind here, ZM. You're playing with my mind. So just have to be careful. I know mRNA, IMMU, tightening up, ZM, Boeing might be about to take me out here. We'll see. We'll see what Boeing does. I will be extremely surprised if ZM gets bought up. With all the bad news and just everything, I'd be extremely surprised if it gets bought up. I mean, this, by all intents and purposes, should be getting pummeled right now. I mean, we should easily make it back down to the 114 levels. Good job, Yoni B. I hope INO's paying off for you right now. I'm watching it here on the sidelines. I see what it's doing. Okay, so anyway, gonna check back in on some of these other ones here. Stop limit. Okay, and we're out. So we're up 254.56. Probably spent, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks in commissions at this point. Let's see. Yeah, IMMU still tightening up. Gonna watch to see if that has a break. Zoom still getting pummeled. Why won't you die? Why won't you just die? Come on, Zoom. I just don't want to be on the wrong side of this one. I mean, we've done well enough today. I mean, I guess I could get in here. I guess I could take a starter position at 50 shares. I could catch another 50 when it comes up here, and then if it breaks this level, I can get out. But I don't know if it's going to even give me time to do all that. Wow. I mean, this is just, I mean, talk about, it's spready, it's stubborn, it's choppy. DIS might be setting up for a good long entry. Interesting. Good entry on DIS. Good. Did you take it? I haven't looked at it yet. See if this comes up one more time. See if this comes up one more time. Watch this be the time where it comes up and then I get in and then it has a breakout. But at least my stop will be a lot better of a place. It's not a lot of buying, but there's not a lot of selling. So this literally could go in just about any direction here. SPY is breaking out to the upside, which means I got out of Boeing too soon. But I set a stop. I moved my stop up. I mean, what are you going to do? You do the best you can. Good job, Notre Dame. I haven't taken a look at it. It sounds like it's doing pretty well, though. Zoom has got to be getting ready to get crushed. But I'm just going to watch it. I'm going to give it another second to chop around a little bit more. See what kind of a direction it ultimately chooses here. mRNA looks like it's making its way up. INO looks like it's hovering around that $8 price mark. Did you ever make profit on that, Yoni B? Wow, mRNA is pretty choppy. W, W not really working. It's not really doing much. And it's pretty spready, so yeah, forget that. APA. Oxy and CVX. Pretty much doing what it was doing the other day. Super chop fest on CVX. IMMU came up, but kind of failed. So ZM, we're going to finally get the drop here. There we go. Oh, and that was it. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. A day late and $1 short. I saw it coming back down, but didn't have enough time to really assess it and react. But probably going to get a move down to the 114s anyway, so I don't know. Guess I could start averaging in. Let's see, 5 minute. I don't think anybody's going to be buying it. No way anybody's going to buy that. It's garbage. Should have caught it on that uptick. Yeah, it's probably heading down. It's probably heading down to 114s. Let's see. I'd be highly surprised if that didn't break one through the 114s. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting a solid break down there. It's getting a solid breakdown. I could scalp a little bit here. I could do a little scalping. Try to do like a $30, $40 scalp here and there. I mean, shoot, maybe even a couple $20 scalps would put me over 300 on the day. So that would be nice, but let's see, IMMU still getting rejected. INO still staying around that $8 mark. Looks like a VWAP rejection. I'm going to remove that one from my watch list. Boeing, mRNA had a pretty big rejection there, so it's breaking back down through VWAP right now. APA looks like it's getting a little bit of a rejection. Not too concerned with APA right now. Oxy making a little bit of a move up. Again, this is a stock I'm just kind of keeping on watch from Friday, but it's really choppy here on the 15-minute chart and even here on the 5-minute. So I'm going to remove that. This is CVX was one that proved to be really good for taking some scalps on, but it is kind of a chop fest. So I'm going to kind of be wary of that. Boeing looks like it could get a potential pullback here. So obviously missed that one. Let's see. SPY's getting a pullback, so it's only reasonable for Boeing to get a little bit of a pullback here. Let's see. Okay, we're going to go in. We're going to go in and just see if we can get a little bit of a pullback down to the 133 levels. So I'd like to add at 50s. Let's just see. 134.85. Not liking it. Not liking it. Okay, coming out half. Let's see, 134.83. I don't see why. Well, I guess as long as SPY's kind of struggling there, but if this comes above 135.58, I mean, I've got to get out. Okay, I'm out. Back to 221.11 on the day. It's okay. Took a stab at it. See where we're looking here on the 5-minute. So Boeing is still strong. SPY is still strong. I was just looking to go for a quick short there on Boeing. I wasn't looking for anything major, but really hard to pull off. So next level would be roughly 136 to 138, somewhere in that $2 mark. I'll look for a little bit of a struggle on Boeing. So SPY is, SPY is still rather healthy, guys. So, I guess I shouldn't expect too much on a pullback here with Boeing. But look at ZM again, IMMU, mRNA, CDX. Let's see. $77.74. It's a little spready here, but not too bad. Okay. IMMU seems like it's holding 1850s, 19. Yeah, it is. And heck, yeah, I'm watching CDX or CVX. Yeah, IMMU Sauger might get a legit push up. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up breaking out. The only problem is it's right now it's just been a chop fest. It's going back and forth, back and forth. I mean, you can even see we had a breakout here, then it came all the way back down. We had a breakout here, then it came down. We had a breakout here, it came all the way back down. So I'm just not trusting the breakouts on it right now. And this is on a 5-minute chart. So I mean, you can just see the back and forth down on the 1-minute. It's just a chop fest. So Boeing is the only one that I'm really considering right now at the moment for another solid scalp. So like I said, somewhere between the 136s and the 138s. It's still showing strength, obviously, up into the 136s. But I wouldn't be afraid to get back on it. If SPY started struggling at these levels and looked like it was going to do a reversal, I'll just show you real quick. It's kind of what we're looking at on the SPY right now. So I told you guys, if it broke this level, it's probably going to break up to this level right here, 260.81. And the ultimate break on SPY today, the ultimate bullish break would be 263.33. But right now, it looks like it's just kind of rounding off that top right there. If it breaks up through it, though, that'll be pretty significant. So yeah. what would help me to go short on Boeing is seeing SPY break down and close below the 9 EMA on the 2 minute. It hasn't done it yet. I mean, it's really respecting it right now. So I would like to see that. Well, looks like it could go. Looks like it might go, guys. So might be interested in taking Boeing short here temporarily. There we go. Let's see here. Wait for it to get a little bit of a pullback. SPY's pulling. Boeing's still strong though. Let's just see. Okay, SPY's looks like it's working on some new lows, so we'll just go ahead and take that short there and just see what we can get. See if we can get a breakdown. SPY's pulling, so don't see why we shouldn't get the breakdown here. SPY's pulling. Come on. Boy, this is strong. There we go. Come on, there we go. There we go. Let's get a move. Let's get a move. Come on. Let's get a move. Get a continuation. There we go. Come on. Not quite. SPY's getting bought back up. Okay, and okay, gonna come out of that 229 and watch Boeing get the break here. Gonna get a break. SPY's getting bought back up, so I don't know. That trade basically paid for itself. So so right now Boeing, I mean, if it gets a break below 135.33, you would think. I mean, it is turning into just a little bit of a chop fest here. SPY held that 9 EMA really well on the 2 minute, and it's basically holding the 9 EMA on the 5 minute, which is even more important. So I'm going to just have to sit on the sidelines here for a minute to see what happens. All else fails, I'll think about taking another stab at Boeing, but if it doesn't do well, then I'm gonna have to call it a day. So, I mean, we're up, we're good, we're green. My focus right now, I told you guys, if I'm making $200-300, and I'm having a struggle getting over that, I'm gonna walk. And really the deal is I'm supposed to walk right now anyway. I'm not even supposed to take another stab at it. But the setup it could be really, really good. And we could literally, in one move, jump this up past 300. So it would be worth it to me to find out. Again, I've just really got to keep an eye on SPY right now. As long as SPY looks like it can fail at this level and we get a good solid quick breakdown on it, but I don't know, I'm almost at this point more inclined to go long on Boeing. So up 33 on the day, probably up 100 after commissions. I'm happy. This will give me confidence coming in the week. That's this. That's good. That's good, Sagar. That's what you need. Which ones did you trade again, Sagar? Yeah, and Boeing is going to be a flat top breakout if the SPY breaks out. But I guarantee you, if the SPY fails on its flat top breakout, I can almost guarantee you Boeing is going to come tanking right through the floor. Okay, and there's still resistance. There's a good chunk of resistance up, kind of in these areas right here. So like I said, 130, basically 136 all the way up to 138. Could be good solid resistance, and then of course the next level after that is going to be the 140s levels. But this is the thing about the kind of market we're in. If the SPY looks like it's going up, if the markets in general are getting bought up today, Boeing's going to get bought up. So that's kind of where it won't even matter what the patterns are showing us. It won't even matter. And even though Boeing looks like it's breaking out right now, I'm telling you, if SPY turns around and starts tanking, Boeing's going to follow suit. But SPY is strong today. The markets are strong. So the chances of that happening really are, in all actuality, slim to none. So IMMU and INO, but only green on IMMU. Okay, that's good. That's good. And IMMU looks like it's getting a slow buy up here. But again, I'll tell you, I don't trust it. It's been so choppy, so choppy. APA is getting a nice buy up. That moves a little too slow for me, though. I'm not comfortable with those kinds of stocks. Oxy. Another one I wanted to look at was I wanted to look at NVAX today. mRNA. Let's see if it's doing the same as some of these other ones. Codex. So NVAX. Not too much going on with that. I'm going to leave that one alone. There's APT. I'd be interested in that. This one looks like it's bear flagging, or bull flagging, excuse me, on the daily. On the daily right here. You got to locate shorts for that, so I'm really not interested. I was also going to look at DocU. And, yeah, man, I thought about this morning. It had these two really huge sell-offs. And I thought to myself, if the SPY does well, DocU is another one. I was looking at this one last night, actually, not this morning. So you guys didn't hear me mention anything about it in the live stream, but this was one that, I'll tell you what, man, this would have been a great move. Great move on DocU. SPY looks like it's getting a temporary rejection off that level. See that level I marked out? Look, it went up and tapped it to the T, guys, and it's drawing back. So we need to be careful. We need to see what happens here. But yeah, DocU. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Actually, you know what? I tell you what, I want to throw this on. I may as well. There were two others that I was looking at too. Well, actually, three others that I wanted to look at, and I'll go ahead and throw them up here. Cake, JD, and Lulu. Okay, Cake doesn't really have much action going on it, but Cake was hitting some levels down here that I felt like if SPY was gonna start tanking today, I felt like this would have been a good short. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that because it really doesn't matter at this point. JD has really been holding this this level here and this moving average on the daily, but same thing, slow moving. So I don't know. I mean, it's been pretty choppy. I mean, it had a drop, yes, and a buy up, but then it started to chop a little in this area and in this area. So who knows what direction it's actually going to go next. So I'll probably remove that for now. And then Lulu was another one. Let me check back in on these real quick. So IMMU, ZM, Boeing, still pushing. If SPY breaks up through that level, Boeing is definitely going on a tear. I have no doubt. And then Lulu. Yeah, Lulu, I was actually looking for a little bit of a drop here. So very trading on very light volume today. Pretty spready stock. It's pretty choppy. We could be getting a pullback here. It's not very well or clearly defined though. Let me look at it on the daily. Why would I believe that this is doing that? Maybe because it's really kind of come up against these points. So let's see this level back here. Yeah, it's kind of a level. That's kind of a level. That's kind of a level. So yeah, I don't know. It's got to break through some daily consolidation there. So, but I think if again, it's one of those things. If SPY looks like it's going to kind of, taper off, and I'll tell you what, the buy volume on Docu is tapering off for sure. So, looks like this could be due for a little bit of a pullback. It's a buy slow, or it's a slow buy up. So let's just see here. All right, so yeah, IMMU rejected. Playing with DIS again. Okay, Notergan said you hit your $100 goal for the day. Gonna exit and wait for a target that's visible. Okay, which obviously DIS showed a little bit of a target for you. Still haven't looked at that one today. Okay, now I see what you're doing. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of action on this stock today for sure. It's pretty interesting. Looks like. Let's see. Let me look at the 5-minute. Looks like it could be making a leg down. 97.28. Be interesting to see where that goes. But again, if SPY remains, and so as you can see, this is what I mean when I say Bowen is following SPY. Look at SPY. It got rejected off of that important level right here at 260.81. It's coming down, and look at what Bowen's doing. Bowen is coming down. So Boeing does not have a mind of its own today, unfortunately. ZM still a complete chop fest. Lulu could be breaking some levels here. But not much going on. And DocuSign still getting bought up. So this is good for DocuSign. It is coming up against some more, what I would consider more significant levels of resistance up here at 87.50. So, but we'll see. I'm going to take a quick break, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. SPY's continuing to pull back, which means probably Boeing it. Yep, Boeing and ZM. IMMU. The thing about IMMU is it's still holding this 20-day moving average. So this is the only constant on IMMU on the 15-minute, or on the 5-minute, excuse me. This is what it looks like on the 15-minute. It's making higher lows. So we'd have to see a few things. I'd want to see a break of a 15-minute low. I'd want to see a break and a confirmation close below that 20 moving average. And I mean, sell volume would have to pick up at this point. It would have to pick up. And right now it's just piddling around these levels, guys. So, and it may be waiting to see what SPY ends up doing overall throughout the day. So, SPY looks strong. Could be getting a retracement. Boeing I don't trust because it's following SPY. And if SPY decides that it wants to come back up and test those levels and have a breakout, then Boeing's going to do the same thing. So I'm not going to short Boeing right now. ZM. Still choppy though. Still choppy. Where have we chopped up to? 1750. Lulu. Still moving. Yeah. DocuSign. Now this would be the first break in close below the 9 EMA. Yeah, that's a solid move there, but it's spready, and I don't know. I mean, it may be following the SPY. Oh, look at CVX. $2 move just like that. So missing some good ones today, guys. But again, this could all just pretty much be a play on the SPY for now. Yeah, Bowen's continuing to make a move down. So I told you guys, anywhere from the 136s to the 137s. I could have come in here and started building like 25 share positions all the way up here to 138. Never quite got up to 138, but tell you what, that's Disney in the free fall, huh? Yeah. Well, again, it's doing what good old Daddy SPY is doing. A lot of these stocks are not going to have a mind of their own today. The markets are in too much of a iffy condition, we'll say. Nobody knows what's going to happen to them. SPY could be getting a play off of VWAP right now. Lulu looks like it's doing just fine. Gonna leave that alone. DocuSign. Looks like it's getting a little bit of a buy up there. Too spready. too spready. So. SPY is teetering around that VWAP level. Looks like it's going to get a reversal off the VWAP. Yep, which means Bowen will too. Thought about getting in long here. I should have gotten in long. And I'll tell you what, I should be holding these shares. You know, I got in with Boeing. I bought 100 shares at 129.69. I sold 50 at 130.40. I mean, could you imagine if I just held on to that, you know, up to, even if I just held on up to it up to 132.69, that would have been a $200 move. I mean, that's the thing, guys. For those of you who've been following me long enough, I mean, I'm not as patient with my trades to let them play out as I used to be, just because this market has been so choppy. It's, you know, it goes back to that same thing. It's just, you know, chop fest after chop fest. I mean, it really is. It's hard to trust it. It's hard to know where it's going. A lot of the moves that before things got so crazy in this market, a lot of the moves I would normally get in with a conservative share size. I would set my stops pretty far to give that stock room to breathe, and I would let it go a pretty good while before taking profits. But admittedly, it's been very difficult to do that in this market. And I've had more of this scalping mentality, more of this, you know, you better get in and you better get your profit and you better get out because you have no idea what's about to happen next. And it's really true. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree. It's just been like that lately. The setups do not play out typically as good as now they are today. I think by and large. I mean, again, look at DocU, you know, look at Bowen, look at this beautiful move. You know, if the last 2 or 3 weeks had never happened to me, this is a move I probably would have made two or maybe even $300 on. I wouldn't have held that full 100 shares for the, you know, the $8 move here. I'm not trying to say I'd make $800 off of it, but I would have made at least $200 to $300 off of it. You know, but it's just, you know, it's been very, very difficult to, you know, to make that happen in this market, you know. But I think the most important thing is that, you know, I'm adjusting to it, and I'm coming out green. I mean, this will be my fourth green day in a row, fifth green day in a row. I mean, technically, I don't know, what was it, like $13? One of the videos last week was like $13 I posted. And technically, I think we all know that technically was not a green day because I was underwater after commissions. So probably underwater $100 after commissions. But this I'm good. I'm ending the day probably up close to 200 after commissions. Friday was decent. I mean, it was $100 and some, but I think that too was also a break-even day. I might have bought myself a sandwich that day after paying for commissions, but I'm just glad that I'm not eating away at my account. I've kind of slowed the curve on that. You know, everybody's talking about slowing the curve on the coronavirus. Well, I've slowed the curve on my losses because I have been taking profits quicker. Now my days have been smaller. I haven't had, you know, any $700-800 days recently, but and I definitely haven't had any 4-digit days even since I started this channel, which kind of blows, but it's a tricky market. It's a tricky market, and it's really tricky to know how to navigate it. It's, I'm constantly wondering to myself, okay, is this an opportunity here where, where I could get in and actually make, some decent money? Could I really let this trade run? Or should I just take profits quick? It's really been kind of one of those where I'm constantly having to think about stuff. Constantly having to think about where should I be taking profit, or how long should I let this trade go, and that sort of thing. And so BA bounce, thanks Spy. Yeah. Spy got a bounce off that VWAP, and Boeing is getting a bounce off the VWAP. Or, well, I don't even know if Boeing went to its VWAP, but yeah, it did. It did. ZM getting bought up ever so irrationally. They've set a $105 price target for it. It's getting extremely pummeled by the news, extremely bad news on it. I don't know if I'd say extremely bad, but bad enough. Catalyst on that stock today was not good by any stretch of the imagination. So it's just kind of like, what in the world is happening? This is what I mean. This market it's the most ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous market I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I genuinely I don't get it. I don't get it. But again, that's why we're getting in, we're getting out, we're taking profits quick, and these small winning days will add up. APA, let's look at Oxy. And these typically follow. Let me see here. Let's see what good old J-Nug's up to. Wait, Sauger says waiting for the yeah. I think there was supposed to be some news today, but it was postponed. Which might be why this stuff is going down. SPY looks like it's returning to VWAP, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. I don't trust Oxy right now. Small short on BA just because. Okay. Yeah. Well, I will say this again. It looks like SPY is going down to retest that VWAP, and it might even break the VWAP. And I think if it does, I think there's definitely going to be cause for concern on the markets. Cause enough to, to where people would, I think, end up. I think people would end up shorting a lot of stocks or selling a lot of stocks. CVX, I keep wanting to get in, but I'm hoping for a pullback of some sort. Just don't know if we're going to get that pullback. There we go. Trying to test this chop again. Real account. I would have stopped at 100 because that was my goal, but testing my nerves with this. No, I hear you, man. That's the great thing about a simulator. You can play around. You can play around as much as you want. I actually, what I personally would do, what I would recommend if it were up to me, is I would play around with trading stocks in a simulator. Let me back up. If I were a new trader, if I were a brand new trader, I would spend several months in that simulator. Hold on a second. Let me see something real quick. SPY's breaking that VWAP. SPY's breaking a VWAP, but the question is it going to hold? It's breaking. See if Lulu follows suit. Huge spread. Huge spread. That would have been a beautiful move. 189.05. Probably could have taken it all the way down to 188.05, which I think it could very well get to. Yeah. Would have been a solid $50 move there. If it gets down to it. Up about 150 at the moment, but can't count it because I made the decision to stop at 100, not cheating. LOL. Yeah. So here's what I do, man. Like I tell people, or I don't tell people, like what I would, I guess I'm telling people now, or I'm suggesting. Now, with all things taken into account, I am not a professional financial advisor. Trading is high risk. You trade at your own risk. But trading in a trading simulator for months and months on end is phenomenal. And I would say that if you're a brand new trader, the first 2 or 3 months, you should be in that simulator if you can afford it. If you have the time to do it, sun up to sundown. And by that I mean, pre-market, and then regular market hours. I don't know so much about post-market. Post-market is probably the most dangerous time to try to trade. So I would say don't waste your time with that. By the time you get to post-market, you should be maybe catching up on some other day trading YouTube videos, see what other people did during the day, see what some of these other professional traders did and what they were thinking, see if their thought process matched up with your thought process. And people, mind you, people who know what they're talking about, not just any Joe Schmo day trader. But you should be spending sun up to sundown, basically pre-market and regular market hours, just trading on a bunch of different stocks. And I think if you're going to take a break, I would take a break from maybe the 12 to 2 o'clock hour, because in that time frame it's not really as helpful. I mean, unless you really want to get good at monitoring price action and seeing how it works when trading against all the algorithmic trading bots out there. But I think the first few months basically should be just doing a bunch of trading, just taking a bunch of trades, seeing how they work out, seeing if they work out, and all that stuff. So at least 2 months of that. Then I would say 2 months of testing a strategy. So you're playing around, but you're more seriously testing a strategy. Like you come in the morning, kind of like what you're doing, Notergen. Like you come in and you seriously start testing a strategy, and then you say to yourself, okay, if I was really trading, this is where I would stop. Okay. But then just continue to test and to just play around and try different things, So again, so if I can make it this more clear, just so I can rewind here and catch everybody up to speed so that you know exactly what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is the first 2 months, just simply playing around, just simply learning how to trade, learning how to use your hotkeys, getting them worked into your fingers, taking a trade on everything, watching how trades work for you, watching how they work against you, monitoring price action day in, day out, watching how it works with key areas of support and resistance, getting accustomed to watching how candles move, how price action moves on different time frames, the 1 minute, the 2 minute, the 5 minute, the longer time frames, and how they work with moving averages on both intraday charts and daily charts. Like just 2 months of that, just trading your brains out. Whether you're right or wrong doesn't matter. And then again, the next 2 months actually trying to build a strategy based upon what you learned from price action in those first 2 months. And then again, coming in, actually kind of almost role playing, trading that strategy, and then but still then spending the rest of the day continuing to do what you were doing those first 2 months. And then months 5 and 6, I would come in and practice actual disciplined trading, where as long as you've proven that strategy. Now, if you haven't proven that strategy, then I say you take another month to prove that strategy, and then another month if you need to. But let's just say that in that second 2 months, months 3 and 4, you actually did prove a pretty decent strategy that seems like it could be profitable. Then months 5 and 6, I would dedicate those 2 months to simply getting in and getting out. The discipline of coming in the markets, trading, either taking your wins or your losses or whatever, and then stopping. Now if you want to continue to watch price action and practice sitting on the sidelines, not trading, even though you have the simulator there, even though you can trade if you want to, just the practice alone of coming in and trading your strategy and then stopping at that 11 o'clock hour, that 11:30 hour, whatever. Not saying you can't stay in the markets, but then also, but stay in the markets, but then practice not hitting that button. Practice not shorting that stock or buying that stock. Just practice sitting on your hands, but really role play as serious as though you are really trading, and then stop and do that for a couple of months. And that will help you work in the discipline. And then I think if you've proven your strategy, if you've proven to be profitable, if you've proven to be able to walk away with red days, if you've proven to be able to trade and legitimately stop at a decent time when you're up on profits, I think if you get to that point, and you might need an extra month to do that, you might need an extra 2 months to do that, whatever. But once you get to that point, then you go live. That's how I would do it. if I was starting all over again. So Notergen says, so to go with what you're saying, Matt, 4 months of simulator trading was learning how the market worked. 3 months was figuring out a strategy that worked for me. The rest of the time was spent on perfecting my long strategy. I'm in every day now practicing shorting because it's a new strategy. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, 4 months basically total is learning how the market works. Again, the first 2 months is just like setting a kid free in a candy shop, just let them run wild and get everything. Like, by the way, I don't recommend that if you have children, but it did, just to come up with some kind of analogy, like just explore your newfound freedom, explore this new big wonderful thing that we call the stock market, and just trade your heart out. Whether you're right, whether you're wrong, doesn't matter. Just trade to death in that simulator. And then, yes, the following 2 months, which would ultimately be the third and fourth month, is when you actually maybe start taking everything you learned in those first 2 months, practicing a strategy when you first come into the markets, but then still spending the rest of the day playing around in it and continuing to trade your heart out, just like you did those first 2 months, so that you can continue to learn, and see if there's possibly other strategies out there, But then, once you have a strategy, whether that's 4 months in, 5 months in, 6 months in, I think you should take at least a minimum of 2 months proving that strategy, testing that strategy, and learning how to sit on the sidelines after you've made your profit for the day. And then I think go in with real money. That's what I think. So, yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Yoni B. Yoni B says, don't forget to test your psychological strength as well. I found playing with paper money teaches you nothing about the feelings when it comes with using real money. And that's a huge part of, like I said, that when you come in for months 5 and 6, or maybe for you it would end up being months 6 and 7, or months 7 and 8, whatever, those last final 2 months leading up to you actually trying to open up a live broker account, you need to practice coming in, taking the trades, getting out, and sitting on your hands and not trading anymore, not hitting those buttons anymore. And if you're down, and you really need to tally up your profits, and don't just go by your P&L, but actually calculate in commission fees too. For whatever broker you're going to be using, find out what they charge for fees and commissions, and make sure that you're tallying that you're pricing that in as well. Because that's really what it's going to be. When you really get to the markets, that's really what it's going to be. And for at least a solid 2, maybe 3 months, just test that strategy. Test getting in, getting out, and being done for the day. That's huge. That's huge for the psychological side of things. Notigan says, when I first started, I had no clue what I was doing. Looking back at it, I have no earthly idea what I was thinking. Dude, you and me both, man. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. 100%. Right there with you. Let's see. Okay, we're starting to get the breakdown here on IMNU. If it can break through this 20-day, we could get a serious move down. Where do we move from? 914 all the way down to 1877. I mean, this is the first time we have broken below that 20-day on the 5. This is what I told you guys I was looking for. The 15-minute, we've started to make 15-minute lows. I'd have to come out at 1935 if I took 100 shares here. I'd probably come out at the break of VWAP. It's kind of taken off without me, so. ZM continuing to make a leg up. Boeing kind of doing what SPY's doing again. Lulu moving too slow, not interested. DocuSign may be finally ready for a retracement. Let's see where we're at. So it would have to break 88.30. So this is about $50. So I'm risking 50 to make, which I'd probably take it at the break of, let's see, if it busted up past 88.07, I would probably take it there. But this, yeah, I would definitely take it now at 88.07. But this could stand to make, this could easily be a $100 move here. But it looks like we could get a bit of a breakout here, so. $87.29. I mean, this could come. This could be a $200 to $300 move. I mean, obviously, if I took 100 shares, I don't know that I would stay there on it. Looks like it's breaking out. We're gonna get a rejection though. 88.75. I mean, we're meeting some resistance, guys. We are definitely meeting resistance, but SPY's breaking back down through VWAP. Good job, Yoni B. Yeah, I moved away from INO, so I haven't been watching it. Okay, DocuSign. Looks like it's getting bought up. If it fails, I'm going to be pretty bearish on it. What in the world? Okay, when that does that. So IMMU looks like it wants to go. Looks like it's ready. Looks like it's ready. I'm going to quick buy up here. ZM hanging out. Boeing hanging out. Lulu hanging out. DocuSign getting rejected from that breakout. So we got a breakout all the way up to 88.44. Didn't break 88.50. Buy volume's wearing off. Volume's wearing off in general. Has a lot of room to move down. This might be a good spot to get in. I know. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen with this one today. CVX. Okay, well, guys, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm not really seeing anything. So speaking of being able to walk away and just kind of sit on your hands, I do have some other work that I need to go ahead and get to. So I'm just going to end the day here. I may come in later and I'll just kind of keep an eye on this stuff. I might set an alert or whatever. But I do have other work I've got to tend to. So good day so far. I'm pretty happy with the results. It's not, obviously, again, it's not the best. It's not, this ain't a $500 day, but it's a day. It's a green day, and I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. So yeah, thank you, Work Diver. I appreciate you being here as always. And guys, I will try to have a recap video up soon. Sorry I didn't get an episode of The Trader's Mind up this past weekend. I really wanted to make that happen, but just wasn't able to. Had a lot going on over the weekend, but I will try to get one of those videos up soon, hopefully this coming weekend. And by the way, there's another type of video I'm going to start working on here soon, and they're basically just going to be how-to videos. And not just how to day trade. I mean, I may do a how to day trade video or how to get into day trading video, or, just for beginners. But I want to provide some, really valuable, detailed content, like, how to, I don't know, just think of a topic. I really need to go through the brainstorming processes of all of this. And I always have ideas. I'm constantly having these ideas come to my mind, like, oh yeah, how to do this, how to do that. Man, I should, but I think what I need to do is just write them down. I'm probably going to make a list of like 50 of them, and I'll just start producing one of those per week also. They'll have a different thumbnail to them, so that'll kind of be a little exciting. I always like getting into the creative side of things, and so I'll try to make that look cool. But I know you guys aren't so much concerned about how it looks as much as the actual content of itself. So I'm going to make sure that it's really good content. But it kind of goes back to I guess the main thing I wanted to say to you guys, or request from you guys, it pretty much goes back to the same thing we were talking about last week. When you guys come and comment and add value to the channel, I think I think that's just a very critical thing. And so when I start doing all that to say, when I start doing these how-to videos, I would love for some of you guys to come on there and add to it, because I'm sure there's going to be stuff that I'm going to leave out. There's probably going to be things I'm going to forget to say or point out that maybe you guys can catch on to and be like, oh yeah, by the way, also think about this, or also think about that, or whatever. And so when I do start putting out those how-to videos, I'm sure a lot of you guys will have some really great perspective to offer to people who are just coming to the channel, other beginners out there that are wanting to learn how to day trade. And I think I told you guys last time we talked about this, one of the most helpful things for me as a beginner trader, and I think you guys have probably experienced this too, is when you go and you get to watch a video of your favorite day trader out there, and you go and you read the comments below, there are some really smart people. Like if you scour through those comments, if you just go through those comments and read them carefully, obviously you'll find some people that are just, they're not really bringing any kind of value to the conversation. And then obviously you'll find trolls on there sometimes. So you got to kind of dig through all the, you got to dig through the garbage or whatever. But every now and then you'll find some really nice gems, some really nice pearls of wisdom buried down in those comment sections of some really smart people in the community that will also add to some of the video, things that, again, that maybe the guy forgot to mention in the video, or just maybe a different perspective on it. So I would love for some of you guys that are in here that have a lot of really good knowledge with day trading to, help me with that, because I don't know everything, and I often forget to mention things. And so I guess what I'm looking for is a community effort on that. But anyway, and it's like I said, I mean, no pressure. Like, again, I know that you guys aren't, this isn't like your full-time job here. I don't expect you to be all about my day trading channel or whatever. But you guys, a lot of you guys who have come in here have been a very active part of the community. And I think you have a lot to offer. So, and again, no pressure. Don't feel like you have to comment on every video, but if there's a video that strikes you personally and you feel like you have something really, some really solid wisdom to add to it, think about doing that. But you're welcome, Notergen and Yoni B. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. It is a good start to the week so far. I mean, it's not the best thing here, but it's a good start to the week. So yeah, and that's a good video idea too, Notergen. Something, for this market, how to trade with the SPY. I've thought of that. I've thought of even like how to trade. We've got different markets out here, and even like U.S. oil is another one. Like I watch U.S. oil, or I was watching U.S. oil when taking trades on some of those other ones last week. Like CVX and Oxy and APA and all that. And those are good. Those are good videos. But really, the SPY, doing one on the SPY would be probably a little bit better, just because I think people, by and large, people are looking at the SPY like way more than they're looking at U.S. oil or watching GDX or Thanks, Yoni B. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that for sure. So I'll go through these one more time real quick. I'll see what we could be looking at. The buy volume is falling off. It's really not impressive. If you take away these moving averages, it's pretty far extended over VWAP. I'm not saying that it would come all the way back down to VWAP, but I think it's getting close. Look at it like this. Last time we saw this run up, and then volume started to die off, and then boom, what happened right here? There ended up being a pretty solid sell-off. It was 87.33 down to 85, so about $1.50 sell-off. Okay, and then of course we had this quick run up, and then this was, but it's kind of doing that again, what it was doing over here. Volume's dropping off, and it may have a quick little you know, even if it's just a dollar sell off, I think that would be a good move from this point. But I would probably wait for a candle like that, because that right there was showing that there was going to be a sell off. Excuse me. 86, 87, 85, 8. No, so really then that was a dollar move. I mean, from this point to this point it was $1.50, but once we got that confirmation close of that candle right there, that was a pretty bearish looking candle. That's kind of what gave us a signal that we would get a dollar drop. So but really, I mean, really light volume, guys. Really light buy volume. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned around and plummeted a dollar or two. Looks like he could be getting that move right now. Let's look at Oxy right now. Oxy should be, well, it's not. Neither is APA. So I thought they would be coming down. Sagar running out of hard drive space, yeah. You could just stream them. You could stream your trades, Sagar, I guess. And that would save, you know, and then you just go back on and keep them private if you wanted to, if you didn't want to do it, you know, stream it out to the public, and then you could go back and watch those streams. That way you're not using hard drive space. 256 gigs in the laptop note again? That's crazy, man. That's not a lot for, I mean, you know, hopefully it's a solid state though. But that's not a lot for recording. Yeah, upload them, delete them off your computer after they're on YouTube, yeah. Yeah. Got you. Okay, I'm not even gonna front. I don't know what that is, Nuttergan. It's an MVE. What's an MVE? What is MVE? Man, CVX is US oil is getting crushed. Man, this looks like it's about to go. But it's only 50 shares here. What's the risk to reward? 68. I'd have to come out at 68. It's basically risking $15. $15 to make probably 50. Maybe even 75 if I could hold on to some of the shares for a longer move. Oh, I see. Maybe wrong spelling of it. It's like a solid straight state drive, just much faster. Oh, got you. Okay. That's cool. This looks like it's about to fall. All right. I'll consider taking it if it bites me at 36 here. Here we go. I'm in. Ugh. Look at that. Super huge buy up. Man, come on. Looked like it was going, guys, and then somebody just came in and bought it right back up. I don't feel good about that, but man, come on, you got to be kidding me. Docu is tricking me out here. Maybe about to go on a short squeeze. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to buy here. Stop. Buy. I'm just going to set that and hopefully we'll get the drop on it. SPY's coming down a little. So see what we're looking at here. Okay, and I'm out $14 on that. That's just mean. That's just mean. Looked like it was going to get the break, and then somebody came in and just started buying it back up. So this one's probably going to be easily manipulated at this point. That's what it seems like. Soon as people thought it was going to, this is a short squeeze. There's about to be a squeeze on this. People are only going to be buying themselves out of their position. This right here is why I say you should trade for 2 months in at least and just watch how these stocks can move. Because this is how I knew to get out. This is how I knew two things. To take extra small share size. I wanted to take 100 shares. But I thought, no, let me just take 50. And then I knew that if it came above this candle, I wanted to get out. Wanted to get out. You know, because it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. I've seen these get massive squeezes. Now, this isn't getting a massive squeeze. So it could turn over, but a lot of times when you see a move like that, this thing has been flat topping for a while, you know, buy volume has been wearing off, and then it starts crushing through a level and looks like it's about to get the drop, and then somebody comes in and buys that junk up, usually a squeeze follows. I'd say 8 out of 10 times a squeeze follows. So now if it stays weak and it doesn't get that squeeze, then that should give people even more confidence that, you know, it's possible that the bulls can't cause a squeeze. So, all right, Sagar, take care, man. Yeah. All right. I'm done. I'm out. That was my last attempt there. That was kind of my last, like, let's just give this a shot and see what happens here. But it's not even, just not worth it at this point. I think we are pretty much done for the day. So, like I said, I'll consider coming back in during power hour, but for now I'm going to get out. I'm just going to be done, and we'll see. We'll see if there's any other opportunities that present themselves. So, guys, thanks again for joining us today, and I hope you all have a good rest of the afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.